Have you ever found yourself stretched too thin, saying yes to every request, only to realize your own tank is running on empty? It's a common story, being the rock everyone leans on, but feeling adrift when you need an anchor yourself. This tale of unbounded generosity, while noble, begs us to question the double-edged sword that kindness can sometimes become. It's not about dismissing kindness, rather, it's about understanding its complexity in our lives. Today, we're peeling back the layers of how acts of kindness can unexpectedly impact our lives, exploring the unintended consequences of our goodwill. This journey isn't a critique of being kind, but a deep dive into finding a balance that preserves our well-being while still supporting others. Drawing from the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and modern psychological insights, we'll navigate through the nuanced territories of personal boundaries, emotional depletion, exploitation, and inadvertently stifling others' growth. Imagine being the go-to person for everyone's problems, the one who never says no. It feels rewarding, right? Until it doesn't. Until you realize that in pouring out your kindness without limits, you've left little for yourself, and paradoxically might be doing more harm than good. It's a moment of realization that many of us face, sparking a crucial conversation about the art of kind living. Join me as we explore how to wield kindness with wisdom, ensuring it enriches rather than exhausts, empowers rather than enables, and nurtures growth rather than dependency. Let's redefine what it means to be kind, transforming our approach into one that's as mindful of our own needs as it is of others. So, if you've ever felt like you're giving too much of yourself away, or if you're curious about how Stoicism can help you find a healthier balance, then this is for you. I kindly request that you don't skip this video in any way. Stick around to learn more. Number 1. Loss of personal boundaries. Ever felt like you're everyone's emergency contact? You're the shoulder to lean on, the ear for problems, the fixer of crises. It's rewarding being that person others rely on, until you realize you've left no room for yourself. This is where the lines begin to blur, where kindness starts eating away at your personal boundaries, turning your life into an open book with pages everyone else seems to be writing but you. Imagine this. It's late at night and your phone buzzes again. Another friend needs your advice. You're exhausted, but you answer anyway. Why? Because that's what you do. You're kind. But here's the kicker. In always being available, you've accidentally taught people that your time, energy, and needs are secondary. You've become so entangled in the lives of others that finding time for self-care feels like solving a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. The Stoics had a point when they talked about the importance of knowing oneself. It's tough to draw lines when you don't know where you stand. Personal boundaries are those invisible lines that protect the essence of who we are. They're the no trespassing signs of our well-being, keeping us from losing ourselves in the service of others. Without them, we risk becoming like a city without walls, open to every passerby with a request or a problem. But here's the good news. It's never too late to start drawing those lines. It starts with a simple yet revolutionary act, saying no. It's about recognizing that being there for everyone else shouldn't mean disappearing from your own life. Setting boundaries is an act of kindness to yourself, a declaration that while you value others, you hold yourself in high regard too. Rediscovering your boundaries is like finding your way back home after being lost for too long. It's a journey of self-discovery, where you learn that true kindness balances giving with receiving, and that caring for others includes caring for yourself. It's about creating a life where your kindness is a gift, not just to others, but to yourself as well. Number 2. emotional drain and burnout. Picture this. You're the sun in your social universe, constantly shining for everyone else. Day in and day out, you're there, beaming warmth and light. But here's the thing about being a constant source of light. You start to feel the burn, not the warm, sunny glow of a job well done, but the scorch of emotional drain and burnout. It's what happens when your kindness doesn't just stretch, it stretches too thin. Ever felt like you're running on a treadmill of generosity, always moving, always giving, but somehow ending up more depleted than when you started? That's the emotional toll we're talking about. It sneaks up on you. One day, you're the life of the party, the go-to helper, and then, suddenly, you're wondering why the idea of another request for help feels like a weight too heavy to lift. It's because even the brightest light needs to recharge. The Stoics had a saying about bearing hardships, but they also knew the value of inner peace and self-preservation. They understood something crucial, that pouring out your energy without refilling your own cup is a path to emptiness. Emotional burnout from excessive kindness is like forgetting to water your own garden while tending to everyone else's. Sure, their flowers might bloom, but what about yours? Here's where the plot twist comes. Recharging isn't selfish, it's necessary. It means setting aside time for yourself, indulging in your hobbies, and remembering what it feels like to laugh, not because you're making someone else happy, but because you're genuinely joyful. It's about finding balance, where helping others doesn't mean sacrificing your own well-being. Recovering from emotional drain is an art. It involves learning to say, "I need a moment for myself," without feeling guilty. It's recognizing that you're not a superhero, because even superheroes need a break. It's about understanding that true kindness includes being kind to yourself, allowing you to shine brightly without burning out. So, let's start treating our emotional energy like the precious resource it is, giving generously, but also saving some of that warmth and light for ourselves. After all, a sun that takes care of itself can keep shining for everyone else, day after day. Number 3, being taken for granted or exploited. You know the drill. You're the reliable one, the fixer, the planner, the one who always steps up. It feels good to be needed, right? Until one day you realize you're less of a valued friend and more of a 24/7 convenience store, open all hours for everyone's emergencies, but seldom appreciated beyond the immediate relief you provide. Welcome to the uncomfortable realization that your kindness might be setting the stage for being taken for granted or, worse, outright exploited. Imagine lending your car so often that people start assuming it's as much theirs as it is yours. Or your habit of picking up the tab at dinners has become an expectation, not a gesture of generosity. It starts to sting, doesn't it? This isn't just about material things, it's about your time, your energy, your willingness to always be there. Suddenly you find yourself wondering, when did my kindness become a free pass for others to overlook my value? The ancient wisdom of Stoicism taught us to be self-sufficient and to exercise our virtues with discretion. These teachings remind us that while generosity is a noble trait, it should not lead us to lose respect for ourselves or to allow others to diminish that respect. Being mindful of how we offer our kindness can prevent us from falling into the trap of one-sided relationships where our goodwill is exploited. But here's the heartening part. Realizing you're being taken for granted is the first step toward reclaiming your agency. It's about setting clear boundaries and understanding that saying no doesn't make you any less kind or generous. It simply means you respect yourself enough to know when generosity turns into self-sacrifice. Rebalancing the scales involves a candid look at your relationships. and an honest assessment of who values your kindness for what it truly is. A gift, not an entitlement. It's okay to be selective with your generosity, to choose to invest your kindness where it's appreciated and reciprocated. Rediscovering the joy in giving, free from the shadow of exploitation, transforms your acts of kindness into truly fulfilling experiences. It's about finding that sweet spot where your generosity enriches your life as much as it does others, without losing yourself in the process. Let's embrace a model of kindness that respects our worth and teaches others to do the same, ensuring that the kindness we extend is built on mutual respect and appreciation. Number 4. Hindering the personal growth of others. The fourth and perhaps most paradoxical way in which kindness can inadvertently detract from our lives, and more critically, from the lives of those we aim to help, is by hindering personal growth. This nuanced consequence of excessive generosity unfolds in the shadows of our good intentions, revealing a complex truth about human development and the role adversity plays in forging resilience and self-reliance. At its core, this issue revolves around the concept of overprotection. In our desire to shield others from pain, hardship, and failure, we may unwittingly deprive them of the very experiences that catalyze growth, learning, and the development of problem-solving skills. Ancient philosophers and modern psychologists alike have pointed to the transformative power of facing challenges. The Stoics, in particular, regarded obstacles as opportunities for personal development, emphasizing the strength that comes from overcoming adversity. The implications of this for the practice of kindness are profound. When our kindness translates into constantly solving problems for others, doing for them what they are capable of doing for themselves, or shielding them from the natural consequences of their actions, we inadvertently stunt their growth. Instead of empowering them, our well-meant interventions can foster dependency, diminish self-esteem, and rob individuals of the chance to discover their own strength and resilience. Recognizing when our kindness is crossing the line into counterproductive overprotection requires a deep understanding of the difference between support and enablement. Support involves providing guidance, resources, and emotional backing while allowing others to take the lead in solving their problems and navigating their challenges. Enablement, on the other hand, occurs when our assistance prevents others from facing and learning from their difficulties. The key to fostering growth through kindness lies in adopting a more mindful and empowering approach. This involves encouraging autonomy by asking how we can support others in finding their solutions, rather than offering solutions outright. Practicing active listening helps validate others' feelings and experiences without immediately jumping in to fix their problems. Additionally, setting boundaries that respect both our limitations and the autonomy of those we're helping is crucial. And lastly, offering resources, information, or guidance that empower others to take action on their own behalf is an effective way to promote growth through kindness. Furthermore, it's crucial to recognize and celebrate the efforts and progress of those we're helping, reinforcing the idea that their growth and success are the results of their own actions and resilience. This not only boosts their self-confidence, but also deepens the impact of our kindness, making it a catalyst for empowerment rather than a crutch. In sum, the art of kindling personal growth in others through our kindness is a delicate balance between providing support and stepping back to allow room for self-discovery and resilience. By reframing our approach to kindness as one that empowers rather than shields, we contribute to a more resilient, self-reliant, and growth-oriented society. This, in turn, enriches our own experience of kindness, transforming it from a potential source of dependency into a powerful tool for collective upliftment and personal development. Number 5. Diminished self-identity. Imagine waking up one day to the realization that the mirror in front of you reflects a person you barely recognize. Not because you've physically changed, but because the essence of who you are seems to have been diluted, lost in a sea of endless giving and self-sacrifice. This is the reality for many who find that their incessant kindness has inadvertently led to a diminished sense of self-identity. It's like playing a role in everyone else's life stories, while your own narrative gathers dust on the shelf. Think about it. When was the last time you made a decision purely for yourself? Not because it was expected of you, not because it would benefit someone else, but purely because it was what you wanted. For many, this question is a wake-up call, highlighting how their kindness has morphed into a mask that hides their true desires and priorities. It's a mask that's comfortable and familiar, yet stifling, worn in the service of others, to the point where taking it off feels like stepping into unknown territory. This loss of self-identity isn't just about neglecting your hobbies or personal interests. It's about forgetting what lights the fire in your soul, what makes your heart beat faster, what dreams you harbored before the world told you who you should be. It's about the moments you chose to say yes when every fiber of your being wanted to scream no, because you believed that your worth was measured by how much you could give. Reclaiming your self-identity starts with small acts of rebellion against the expectation of endless kindness. It's about carving out moments in the day that are just for you, where the only person you need to please is yourself. It's about rediscovering what you love, what you believe in, and most importantly, what you want from life. This journey back to self might require you to set boundaries, to sometimes put your needs ahead of others, and to accept that it's okay to prioritize your happiness. The path to balancing kindness with maintaining a strong sense of self is not selfish, it's necessary. It's about remembering that you can only give to others what you possess yourself, and if you lose yourself in the process of being kind, what's left to give? Number 6. Encouraging dependency. Imagine you're the captain of a ship, navigating through stormy seas with a crew that relies entirely on you for direction. At first, it's flattering. The trust, the reliance, it makes you feel indispensable. But as time goes on, you notice the crew doesn't learn to sail. They don't grow stronger with the storms. They're waiting for you, always, to steer the ship. This is what happens when our kindness unknowingly fosters dependency in those around us. It's like tying someone's shoes for them their whole life and then wondering why they never learn to do it themselves. This dependency dynamic can sneak up on us subtly. It starts with the best intentions, helping a friend through a tough time, supporting a family member in need, being there for a colleague. But without realizing it, we might become the crutch they lean on, not just in crisis, but in everyday challenges they could face on their own. The line between supporting and enabling becomes blurred, and our kindness becomes a well-meaning barrier to their self-reliance. The real kicker? It's not just them who suffer. The weight of their dependence can become a heavy load to carry, draining our energy and leaving us feeling more like a lifeguard than a friend, family member, or colleague. The constant neediness can strain relationships, breed resentment, and dilute the genuine joy we once found in being helpful. Breaking this cycle of dependency requires a shift in how we offer our kindness. It means empowering rather than doing, teaching rather than taking over. It's about asking, how can I help you help yourself, rather than let me do that for you. This approach fosters independence, resilience, and a healthier, more balanced relationship. Encouraging autonomy doesn't mean withdrawing our support. It means redefining it. It's guiding someone to find their own strength, to navigate their own storms. It's the difference between giving a man a fish and teaching him to fish. The former feeds him for a day, the latter feeds him for a lifetime. Our goal should be to inspire confidence in those we care about, showing them that while we're here to support them, we believe in their ability to stand on their own. This not only aids their personal growth, but also ensures our acts of kindness enrich rather than exhaust, uplift rather than undermine. Number 7. Resentment from unreciprocated kindness. Have you ever found yourself keeping an internal scorecard, tallying the acts of kindness you've extended, only to realize the scoreboard is woefully unbalanced? It's a common trap for the generous-hearted. You give and give, pouring your time, energy and resources into others, expecting nothing in return. Or so you tell yourself. But when the gesture isn't reciprocated, a seed of resentment starts to sprout, casting a shadow over the once pure joy of giving. This resentment doesn't make you petty or unkind, it makes you human. We are wired for reciprocity, seeking some form of acknowledgement or return on our investments of kindness. It's not necessarily about material repayment, but the desire for a mutual exchange of care and respect. When this balance is off, when you find yourself always on the giving end, it's like shouting into a void, exhausting and disheartening. The sting of unreciprocated kindness can lead to a cascade of negative emotions, frustration, disillusionment, even questioning the value of your generosity. It's a slippery slope from feeling unappreciated to questioning the worth of your efforts and the authenticity of your relationships. Am I valued for who I am or what I can give? Becomes a haunting question. Addressing this imbalance isn't about closing off your heart or keeping a ledger of good deeds. It's about fostering relationships that are grounded in mutual respect and appreciation. It means having open and honest conversations about your feelings, setting healthy boundaries, and sometimes re-evaluating the dynamics of your relationships. Cultivating a mindset of unconditional giving can be liberating. It allows you to offer kindness as a gift, freely given, not as a transaction. This doesn't mean you should tolerate being used or unappreciated, but that you find peace in the knowledge that your worth isn't determined by how others respond to your kindness. It's about giving for the joy of giving and nurturing relationships where kindness flows freely in both directions. Embracing this approach can transform resentment into understanding, paving the way for deeper connections built on genuine care and mutual appreciation. Let's strive to create a cycle of kindness that uplifts everyone involved, without expectations, keeping the spirit of generosity alive and well. Number 8. Misinterpretation of kindness. In the nuanced tapestry of human interactions, our gestures of kindness can sometimes be lost in translation. What we intend as a simple act of generosity might be perceived as overbearing, intrusive, or even manipulative. It's a bewildering and often painful realization that our good intentions can be misinterpreted, leading to confusion, discomfort, or conflict in our relationships. Consider the times you've gone out of your way to help someone, only to find they've pulled back, misreading your intentions. Or when your efforts to support are seen as attempts to control or impose. It's like speaking a language of kindness that gets misunderstood as anything but. This misalignment not only strains relationships, but can also lead to self-doubt and hesitancy in offering help in the future. If my kindness is going to be misconstrued, why bother? Becomes a protective refrain to shield oneself from misunderstanding and hurt. The root of this issue often lies in a lack of communication and differing expectations. What one person views as a caring act, another might see as unnecessary interference. Cultural, personal, and situational differences play significant roles in how our actions are received and interpreted. Recognizing this diversity in perception is the first step toward mitigating the risks of misinterpretation. Navigating this complex landscape requires a delicate balance of empathy, communication, and respect for boundaries. It's about offering kindness in a way that's mindful of the other person's comfort and consent. This might mean asking before taking action, "Would this help, or would you prefer I support you in another way?" It's a simple question that can clarify intentions, respect autonomy, and ensure that kindness strengthens rather than complicates the relationship. Moreover, being open to feedback and willing to adjust our approach based on others' responses can transform misunderstandings into opportunities for deeper connection and understanding. It's an invitation to view kindness not as a one-size-fits-all gesture, but as a personalized expression of care tailored to the unique needs and perspectives of those we wish to support. In embracing the complexity of human interactions, we learn that kindness is as much about how we offer our help as it is about the help itself. By striving for clarity, empathy, and respect in our gestures of kindness, we can minimize misinterpretations and cultivate relationships built on genuine understanding and mutual appreciation. As we draw the curtains on our introspective journey through the intricate landscape of kindness, we find ourselves enriched with a deeper understanding of its profound complexities. Our exploration, guided by the wisdom of ancient philosophy and the insights of modern psychology, has unveiled 4 ways how kindness can ruin your life. Not to indict the virtue of kindness itself, but to illuminate the mindful balance required in its practice. We began by addressing the loss of personal boundaries, recognizing that the noble impulse to give of ourselves must be tempered with the wisdom to protect our own well-being. This balance ensures that our kindness is sustainable, preserving our capacity to offer support without diminishing ourselves in the process. The emotional drain and burnout we encounter in the unchecked extension of our kindness reminded us that our emotional resources are finite. By acknowledging and respecting our limitations, we can offer kindness from a place of strength and abundance rather than depletion and obligation. In confronting the risk of being taken for granted or exploited, we learned the importance of discernment and self-respect in the practice of kindness. This understanding empowers us to share our generosity without falling prey to manipulation, maintaining the integrity of our giving nature. Lastly, the potential for hindering personal growth of others revealed the delicate art of empowering kindness. We discovered that true support fosters autonomy and resilience, allowing those we help to emerge stronger and more capable through their own efforts. The essence of our exploration is not a warning against kindness, but a call to embrace it with wisdom, balance, and a deep understanding of its impact. By practicing kindness with awareness and discernment, we not only enrich the lives of those around us, but also cultivate a profound sense of fulfillment and purpose in our own. Let us carry forward the insights gained from this journey, integrating them into our daily lives. Let our acts of kindness be thoughtful, our support empowering, and our generosity bound by a deep respect for ourselves and the growth of others. In doing so, we honor the true spirit of kindness, one that nurtures, supports, and uplifts, without losing sight of the delicate balance that sustains it. Thank you for joining me on this reflective exploration. I invite you to join the conversation. Share your experiences and insights on balancing kindness with self-care and discernment in the comments below. How do you navigate the complexities of being generous without compromising your own well-being or the growth of others? Let's inspire and learn from each other as we strive to practice mindful kindness in our lives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with those who might find it enlightening. Together, let's spread the wisdom of balanced kindness far and wide.